Hey YouTube, Awesome Writer here. Welcome to my review for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 105. So this issue finally picks us back up to where we left off, where Alpha 1 was found. Something might have happened to the Omegas. We took a brief detour to get a backstory more on Mistress Viles and how Alpha 1 got to where he was. And we do catch up with the Omegas and how they got here. Set the stage. And this was a solid issue. There was a lot of good stuff to like. I still like where we're going. I felt it was probably the weakest issue so far in regards to the whole thing felt a little bit jumbled to me in terms of the pacing. Like, I don't know, there was just something off about it. It wasn't like it was bad, it just felt a little bit off. And I also have some slight problems with some of the other pacing issues. Like, we catch up with the Omegas, like, okay, this is the status quo with the Omegas, and we hint that Zach and Trini are doing some relation stuff now. We don't hint, we basically outright say it, and they clear the air about the fact that Trini used to be involved with Jason back during Go-Go, which is all fine. It felt a little bit weird. The dialogue felt a little bit strange there. It wasn't anything terrible, but it was a little bit off. But we catch up with them to where they found this distress call, and then we basically are right up to the present, and then they're like, okay, Zach and the new guys, Zev or whatever, it's not Zev, whatever, what's his name? Crangus McBasketball. Trini, or Zach and Crangus, they've been captured, that's what his name's gonna be until I learn it, and then we save them. So it happens all rather quick. It just felt kind of anticlimactic and weirdly paced, because it's like, oh my god, something happened to the Omegas, and then it's all resolved very quickly, and they're even kidnapped within the issue and it's resolved. Not like I want it to be stretched out, but I thought it was going to be kind of a bigger deal. So like maybe one or more of the Omegas survived and there was going to be kind of this like, are they dead or do we have to find them thing? And it just seemed kind of needless and just weirdly paced. I was kind of hoping we'd actually spend a whole issue with the new Omega team because I wanted to see a little bit more about the new status quo, but other than that, though, there was some really cool stuff, like the distress call and where they're at seems like it was the planet from Power Rangers universe, and it was a really cool connection, and plays into one of my favorite things about this entire arc so far, is that they really have been taking advantage of almost everything major that's been introduced, and weaving it all together in a really cool way. And it also introduces the mystery of why Rita wanted to be there, as Alpha 1 was after this Morphin grid navigation compass, which is a really interesting beat, and I think adds a lot of mystery and intrigue, as well as tying into that past story, which was rather cool. We also do get in a fight in this episode another new Megazord hybrid formation, combining one of the Omegas with some of the Thunderzords. I really do like the idea of the original like combinations and stuff because I like that you don't have to adhere to what Sentai shackles you into. But this one and the last one they did aren't my favorites. I really like the Green and White Ranger hybrid. I think they did another one earlier on with the Omegas. There was like the first couple they did along with the Gravesord were really cool. Just don't look as cool. Like this one and the other one looked kind of awkward. I almost wish this would have been more like a Mega Tigerzord situation, but instead of the Tigerzord taking the place of the Red Ranger Zord, it would have been the Omegazord. It just, I don't know, they don't look as well designed as the other ones. I don't mind it, I just wish they were, just for me personally, I wish they were a little bit better designed, because they have done a couple cool hybrid designs. But yeah, I mean, I guess the reason they didn't do that formation with Mega Tigerzord is Billy stayed behind. Even Tommy has a discussion with him why he's staying behind, and he says like, oh, I just feel like there's other ways I can contribute, but I still love being a Ranger. I feel like they're sort of setting the stage for where Billy ends up in the main universe. I'm not sure where they're going with that, but it was at least a nice character beat. And there was a nice character beat about sort of staying positive about the whole situation between him and Tommy. You also see Zed getting shacked off to prison, which was kind of interesting. It seems like based on some of the synopses from later ones, he's going to have a bigger role to play later, which I really hope he gets a bigger moment. But I honestly didn't expect that. I thought he was going to be working more with the team, and I think that's kind of interesting, at least. Something else, side note, I just want to say before I forget, I love Comic Trini. She's such a badass. She straight up chopped Alpha 1's head off and she's like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that. Like, it's gonna grow back, he's got dark magics now or whatever, but still, she's had so many standout badass moments and that just, I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up while I was thinking of it. But regardless, speaking of Alpha 1, that's probably one of my only other negatives about this arc so far. I loved Alpha 1's character, and I think it's really cool to have him back. And I think there's some interesting stuff about him working with Rita, and some interesting motivations from the origin issue. But in this one, he definitely came off as more mustache twirly and maniacal, which I think is unfortunate, because I actually thought he was a really interesting, almost gray area villain. Or not even a gray area necessarily, but something almost like the Punisher or Thanos. And those are kind of weird examples, but it's kind of like where they're doing wrong, but there's also some reason to it. I guess the Punisher, I don't know. I'm not trying to open up a debate. What I'm saying is Alpha 1's point about Zordon being a half measure was interesting and kind of right in a way. But now we're kind of turning him just almost full tilt crazy villain, and I think that's unfortunate, and I hope there's some more nuance to it in the future. But overall, I found this issue to be pretty good. It set up some really interesting stuff in regard to the mystery, continued to evolve the mythology, but I felt it was a little clunkier, and I do hope we get to spend more time with the Omegas as their new unit, as I want to get more used to them, and I hope there's more nuance to Alpha later. So I'm still really enjoying this, and I'm still really looking forward to this, but I'm going to give this, or looking forward to more of this story, but I'm going to give this issue a 3 out of 5. Also, the cover was weirdly misleading. Not they deceived us fans way, but like they focused on Matt and Rita, and I'm like, oh, we're going to find out what happens with them, and then Matt wasn't even there. Or if he was, blink and you missed it. But anyways, guys, that's about it for this one. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.